All right, I think we are good to go to get started. So first of all, parents, I want to thank you for taking time out of your Sunday evening just to get a little bit more information on Enrichment Masters, what it is that we're doing, and more importantly, specifics regarding the programs coming to Eagle Point. Um, so that said, we're going to go ahead and begin. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Mr. Suarez. I am one of the program directors overseeing Enrichment Masters. You may have seen my face. I was at the meet and greet on August 15th, standing outside in the heat. That guy who was super sweaty, that was me. Yeah, anyway, so I'm going to first give you kind of a layout of how it's going to work. What's going to happen is, I'll give all the information. I do ask that everyone stay on mute, just so we can get through with as few interruptions as possible. If you have questions, and I'm certain some of you guys have them, I ask that you wait until the end to type them in the chat, because it's possible that I might cover what your question may be. So please type it in the chat. I promise. Once the Q&A session begins, I will be going through every single thing in that Q&A section. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to it. Again, I want to make this as brief as possible, but also as informative as possible. So first, I want to go over the specific programs that'll be conducted at Eagle Point. In the fall, for those of you who have already registered and made the payment, you guys know that you guys have drumline, fashion design, pottery and ceramics, and stepping. And that will be all for the fall semester beginning on September 12th for you guys, September 12th. For the spring, you guys will have robotics and engineering, sketching and comic book creating, gardening and landscaping, as well as basketball, but that's not until January, so you don't have to worry about that just yet. If you want to secure your spot, you by all means can. However, that's not going to be beginning until January. So for right now, it's just drumline, fashion design, pottery, and stepping. So moving right along. If you're curious to know what it is, like kind of what's going to be going on in the program, and I'm sure, a lot of you may be, if you're not familiar with how the drumline works, I know I see some familiar names from familiar parents from last year. They do know what the deal is, but if you're curious to know exactly or an idea of what will be covered in each program, I invite you to, and you don't have to do so right now, on our website on the About dropdown, you'll see our programs. You'll click the program that you want to get more information on. You'll see a little spot that says more info. And there you'll find a sample curriculum. The sample curriculum is, a brief description of some lesson titles with some descriptions on exactly, what is covered in each of those lessons and what skills are practiced. And it's not just, it's available for all the programs that we have, all 24 different programs that we have, not just the ones that we are offering at Eagle Point. So if there's a different program that you saw that we don't have, but you're curious, hey, by all means, check it out there. So yeah, that is the sample curriculum. And I want to transition into talking about the final projects or presentations for these programs. Again, I know we have some returning parents in here who already have gotten a taste of what it is that we do and what we expect when it comes to these final projects. So yes, during these enrichment programs, we are teaching the students the basics and the fundamentals of each program. But what we really want to focus on is actually them applying that to putting together some sort of final project, presentation, competition, expo, something. That is why, it's called, we work on the project-based model. That's why we run it that way. And really with these final projects, again, I'm going to use the drumline as an example because we started the drumline out at Eagle Point last year. And the final competition, the final showcase was a competition between the different schools that were participating in our drumline. So Eagle Point, Indian Trace, Banyan Elementary, and Silver Lakes We all met up at the Tamarack Community Center, and a lot of you guys were there. So I'm sure you saw we had the Dillard guest drum line, and it was really just awesome to see the kids. The sense of accomplishment, looks on their faces was just so amazing. And that's what we want to recreate with every program that we have, not just drumline. And for those of you who didn't know, Eagle Point actually got first place. I haven't been in the office, but I believe I saw the trophy there somewhere hiding. But so hopefully, maybe a repeat victory, who knows? But all that aside, that's really what we're working towards. Yes, we're teaching the basics and the fundamentals of each program, whether it be fashion design, pottery, stepping, whatever. But we are actively applying it towards one of those final projects. And one more thing I'll say on this is really the age where kids are finding what it is that they're passionate about. Yeah, sure, they have interests and stuff, but this is where they find their passion. All right. I'll use, I grew up in the Weston area myself, and there's 1,000,001 soccer programs in Weston. Nothing wrong with soccer. I love soccer. I really do. But, I was looking for something more unique that just wasn't available to me until I got to college, which was music sorry, not music, musical theater specifically. When I was growing up, that we didn't really have that in my area. So what we want to do as Enrichment Masters, with Enrichment Masters, is provide those avenues for kids to find their passion. Sometimes it's really, really hard to find it. And if you're exposed to more things, then you're more likely to find it. And that's why we do have 24 different programs, and we try to cycle them out as much as we can so that every kid can try a little bit of everything and really find what they love. But we're going to go ahead and move on from all the emotional and sappy stuff. But I'd like to move on to discussing about switching programs, back to the more nitty-gritty stuff. I've gotten a lot of parents call and email and ask, like, hey, can my child switch it if they don't switch programs, if they don't really like the fashion design? Can I put them in stepping instead? And the short answer is yes. Yes, you can. What we do discourage, though, is repetitive switching. What I simply mean there is, all right, they started out in drumline, they did that for a month, didn't really love it. Okay, let's try stepping. Yeah, nope, stepping's not it either. Okay, great. Back to drumline. Let's go back to drumline. Oh no, you know what? Let's go now to pottery. The reason that I personally discourage that is because like I said, they're working towards those final projects. And if they're joining into a program 2, 3, 4 months in, then they're going to be behind. They're going to be falling behind. And when kids fall behind, or they're not quite up to speed with everything that's going on, they get a little frustrated. And eventually they just don't want to do anything anymore, or they get a little resentment towards the program when it's really not the program's fault. It's nobody's fault. You just started a little bit late. So that's what we want to prevent, anybody getting too frustrated with jumping from program to program. All right, oh, now I know what I love. It's the fashion design, but then everyone's already created their dresses and you're just starting out, or dresses or garments or whatever the case may be, and you're just starting out. So that's what we want to avoid. So can they switch? Totally, yes they can. Repetitive switching is what we try to avoid. That said, we're going to continue moving on to the day-to-day, what you can expect with Enrichment Masters throughout the day. So as you guys are probably aware at this point, we will be coming out every Monday, once a week, every Monday, once a week. We will be running all 4 programs at the same day during the time blocks of 2 to 3 p.m. and then another session from 3 to 4 p.m. Yes, we're running all 4. We're going to be in different locations around the school. And when Monday comes around, what will simply happen is during dismissal, the students who are supposed to come to us will, rather than go to their normal dismissal area, whether it be car rider, bus rider, biker, whatever, they'd come to us first in one meeting location. That meeting location is still being finalized with administration. However, I can tell you for sure the next email you get from us, this right here is not the only communication we're going to have with you guys. The next email you get from us will contain more detailed information about dismissal areas, where we're going to be meeting up, what group your child's in, all that good stuff, so that when the 12th comes around, everyone's on the same page and we're good to go and hit the ground running. So they'll come to this one meeting location, we take attendance, and we go about our day. Now, dismissal. I'm going to go over each individual dismissal procedure, just so that I cover everybody. So I'm going to start with the kids who are in aftercare at Camp Wanadu. If they're in aftercare and they are also participating in one of our programs, that's totally fine. Simply what would happen is that they would report to aftercare first. Right? Let their counselor know that they are here. Hey, I'm present, but I have fashion design today. Okay, cool. Obviously, we're in talks with Mr. Wilkes so that you know, he's aware of who's coming to us and all that stuff. So everyone's going to be in the loop. They'll come to us once the program is over. Right back to Camp Wanadu. All done. For any students who are car riders, walkers, or bus riders, that's a little bit different. Those, we do ask that you, the parents, or someone on your authorized pickup list comes to pick them up. Again, the specific dismissal location will be finalized soon so that you guys know exactly where to go. But you will need to sign them out. And when you do so, please, 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 please make sure that you bring a photo ID with you. Does it get tedious? Totally, 100%. Yeah, it's really annoying when I have to go back to my car and get the ID. But my kid knows me. I know he knows that I'm mom, or he knows that I'm dad. I get it, and I believe you. It's just a safety protocol that we have to follow. It is for the safety of your children, and that is the most important thing with any of this. Sure, we want it to have fun, but their safety is priority. So if you're not picking up yourself, you're as the guardians are not picking up, whoever on the pickup list is, whether it's auntie, neighbor, grandma, please make sure that they're also aware that they need to bring a photo ID with them to pick them up. When it comes to bikers, anybody who rides their bike to school, if we have any of those in here or in the program, what will happen is that they'll get escorted back to the bike rack, wherever their bikes are, and one of our instructors or staff members will be there to kind of make sure they ride off safely and that they're good to go home. I see a few people have just joined in or are in the process of joining in. Anyone who's come in late, do not worry. I will be uploading. This whole meeting is being recorded. So smile, everyone say cheese. We're going to be putting this on our Enrichment Masters YouTube channel so that you guys can go back and watch it. If there's something you missed or something you know, maybe hey, you zoned out or something and you might not have heard it, you'll have a chance to go back and watch on our YouTube channel, which brings me to my next point. If you haven't done so, we do encourage you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're not trying to get YouTube famous or anything like that, but that is where we'll be posting any and all practice videos for programs that require, not require, but programs that are made easier with at-home practice. So the drum line, stepping, basketball, stuff like that. We're gonna put some practice videos on there so that you guys and the kids can watch them at home and practice their skills. Anyway, back to the day-to-day. So that's the whole dismissal procedure. If you have specific questions about it, by all means, throw them in the Q&A section towards the end. We're just about almost done with my points. I have a few more things that I want to go over. Rainy days. If it's raining, we're not canceling the program for that day. We have, for any outdoor programs, such as the drumline or the basketball, we do have backup locations set up with the school. So you can rest assured, even if it's raining, we will still be, still be running the programs. So you guys are good on that one. Moving along, almost done. Next email, we talked about that. Last two things, the payment. So a lot of you have already made your payments. That's great. just so you guys understand, I know we've got a lot of parents about questions about, oh, well, what does the payment cover, or am I good for the whole fall semester? So the payment that you guys have made, whether it be for fall or for spring, one payment covers 4 sessions. I say on the phone with you guys monthly, but it's really just 4 sessions. So for example, because you guys are starting on a Monday, Monday is a day that tends to have quite a few days off. So for example, you guys are starting on the 12th. So your payment will cover the 12th, the 19th, and if I'm not mistaken, the 26th is the day off as well. So the payment will roll over to October 3rd and then onward to October 10th. So really it's per session or it's per 4 sessions. We say it monthly just for the sake of simplicity, but truthfully, it's one payment covers 4 classes. And on that, because you guys have such a strange schedule with those days off, we do have a payment calendar available on our website. So if you need to know what payments are covering when, yada, 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 you can find that information on our payment calendar online. The very, very last thing I'm going to cover is materials. Students are not required to bring anything. You guys don't have to worry about sending them with their own drumsticks or clay or smocks or whatever. If they want to, they totally can. By all means, if a kid wants to bring his own drumsticks, or if someone wants to bring their own like aprons so they don't get their shirt dirty during pottery, that's totally fine. They're responsible for their own items that they bring, but we won't prohibit that in any way. One last thing that I'll mention about that is that we have on our website, there under the EM store, there's an EM shop, and in there you'll find quite a few supplemental materials that again are not required. However, they can be pretty beneficial for that at-home practice I mentioned earlier. So in there, for example, we have some drumsticks, one of those drum pads that are great for practice without all the noise from the actual full-size drum. There's robotics kits that could be used for the spring that help them kind of, practice putting things together and programming and everything. Again, that can all be found on our online store. Is it required? By no means. By no means is it required, but it can be something helpful for them. So I am going to stop talking, or at least stop talking my own words, and now open the floor up for Q&A. So if you have any questions, by all means, go ahead and write them in the chat, and we can go ahead and knock those out as they come in. And parents, I know I just saw a few people come in. Don't worry, you didn't miss the whole thing, but we will be uploading this orientation onto our YouTube channel once it's all processed and everything, so you can go back and watch it at your leisure and see what you missed. Okay, Halloween is on Monday and a school day. Will there be a session on that day? Yes, there still will be a session on Halloween. If it's not an actual day off of school, we won't be moving the program. Halloween is on a Monday this year. Look at that, it is. Until when is the last class for 2022? So good question. The actual last day, we consider to be the day of the showcase or the performance. Since that specific day is still to be determined, I don't have an exact answer for you, but I can tell you for sure it'll be in December, in the weeks prior to winter break. That's when you can kind of expect it to land. Aprons provided for the pottery. I believe that for the pottery, all materials that they need for the program will be provided. So everything that they'll need, we'll have. So they'll be good on that. We're providing all materials. Should we send extra snacks if there will be time for that? Yeah, if you want to send them snacks, by all means, go for it. If we'll give them a moment. Hey, are you hungry? Yeah, by all means, eat your snack. That's totally cool. We're not going to tell them, no, it's drumline time. No, they can definitely bring their snacks and we'll make time for it. Just scroll all the way to the top. When will we start the program? The program begins on September 12th, Monday. Will they be using spinning plates for pottery? I believe if the final project asks for it, where they're making full-sized pieces of ceramic, then yes, they will. However, I have to confirm with the pottery instructor who is currently developing the curriculum. You said again that robotics is only in the spring, but when I paid for it, it was listed as only offered in fall. Yeah, I did see that error. I'm not sure why you had the option to pay for robotics in the fall, because if you go to the program payments portion of our website, when you click on robotics fall 2022, there should be a drop down that says select school, and Eagle Point won't be there for the fall 2022. If you still see it on there, please let us know. Correction, but it should be only under the fall or the spring 2023 payment area. Do we have to make a payment each month through the same place we first made it first? Good question. So actually forgot to mention this, my apologies. Two options to do the payment. There, you can either go back and do it manually, just as you did for this first payment, or in this at the end of September, we will have the you'd like to opt for automatic billing. It is totally optional. If you would like to do it, then simply when we present the opportunity to you, you opt in, great, and simply you'd get a notification a few days prior to the payment being due saying, hey, payment's coming up. That way you don't get surprised when you get charged the money for the payment. But if you want to do it manually, by all means, go for it. How will they get from one program to another if they have two on Mondays? So simply when that 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. session ends, that first hour block, we'll meet back in our meeting area real quick. Send them, all right, if you're in not robotics, if you're in drumline and also stepping, okay, you're done with drumline, straight to stepping, and then they'd go on their way. You can reconvene back in that same meeting spot. For fashion design, what do they need? They don't need to bring anything themselves. Everything that they need will be provided. So if your child has some sort of designs or something that they've drawn at home, or maybe some specific fabric that they want to use, they can bring that themselves. However, that's entirely optional. Everything that they need will provide. What is the final project for fashion design? That is still in the works. What we have planned, this is very tentative, is to have some kind of fashion exhibition or show. Personally, I've been looking into it about potentially hosting it at the Signature Grand. However, that is still to be determined depending on a bunch of different factors, but it will most likely be, we're not expecting them to make a full ball gown or something, but we do want them to be able to show off some garment that they've made. So that you can expect something like that. Both kids are in aftercare. Who will be escorting them to the location? So if they're both in aftercare, we will ask the aftercare counselors to instruct them, hey, walk together to the location. We ask that we're gonna make sure that all the aftercare kids come in one big group so that they're not alone and so they all know where to go. If we only had one, then we would probably have to go, then we would have to go send somebody to pick them up. But we do have multiple, so they'll all come as one big group. Back to robotics. You've already registered for it and it forced the fall. Will it get automatically transferred to the spring? If that's the case, then yes. If you already paid for fall robotics at Eagle Point, which technically doesn't exist, but you already got charged for it, then we'll just apply that payment for spring. That won't be a problem. If you want to, or actually what I ask that you do is send us an email to info, and I'm actually going to put it in the chat right here, info@enrichmentmasters.com, to make sure that we can see that, and so that we make that change and actually apply it. Can you pay all the months together? You totally can if you'd like to. If you wanted to do it right now and just cover September, October, November, December, you can, but I would refer to the payment calendar before you do that, so you see exactly what days are covered, because again, I refer back to the days off, where like Labor Day, and then I believe the September 26th is the day off. I think there's a few more that mess with the schedule a little bit. So you can totally, but please refer to the payment calendar first before doing that. We don't want you to pay a month that doesn't exist. Can we skip 1 month in between? You can. That's not a problem. Just as long as you're aware that when they come back, they will be 4 sessions ahead, or sorry, they will be 4 sessions behind. So it's possible that they're already, either finalizing a final project or, practicing the final project. So are they allowed? Yes, but as long as they're aware of that, then we're all good. Okay. All right, so the questions seem to be slowing down a little bit. Never mind, it spoke too soon. My child is in violin practice Monday, 2 to 2:45. Would you let us know where she needs to go to enrichment masters? So I want to make sure I'm understanding everything correctly. So they have a violin practice off campus in a different location, or is it with Dr. Spangler's orchestra? With Dr. Spangler. Okay, so then simply we'd have to communicate that with Dr. Spangler when they're done at 2:45, that they need to come to enrichment masters. So definitely communicate that with Dr. Spangler, because because we need to make sure we're all on the same page. So let him know that after that she needs to come to enrichment masters. And then she can meet up with our site liaison or site supervisor to make sure that she goes to the right spot. That's I've been saying she. I don't know. I don't know if we're dealing with boy or girl. Where can we track their progress? Is there an app or a web platform? We don't have an app or a web platform to track their progress specifically. What we do as as a company is that we record their practices. Not only for for the instructors to be able to track their progress and see, okay, they need help right there, they need improvement right there. It is very possible that the videos get uploaded to our media gallery, which is on our website. I can't say for certain. I'd rather tell you uncertain than actually give you a false information. So I don't know the frequency that they'll be uploaded on there, but if we upload anything so that you guys can see it, it will be either on our YouTube channel or on our media gallery on the website. But short answer, there's no app, there's nothing specific to track their progress, no. Good idea though, I'll write that one down. Okay, now I think the questions have slowed down. So I'll take this second to say, will we get reports via email? We don't typically do reports, but if you're curious to see how your child specifically is progressing, you can email us and then we can communicate with the instructor and get that information for you for sure. So if there are no further questions, or if you personally don't have any further questions, parents, you are free to go. The rest of your Thursday night is yours. I will stay on for an additional 5 to 10 minutes or so to keep answering questions. But if you don't have any more, by all means, enjoy the rest of your Thursday. We're just really excited to get started on Monday, and I hope to see you guys real soon. You are very welcome. We got one more. So we must inform homeroom teacher that she's enrolled. Yes, please advise the teachers that on Mondays they'll be coming to us as opposed to their normal dismissal. Everyone needs to be on the same page. So please, let the teachers know that on Mondays they come to us rather than car rider, bus rider, whatever the case may be. I've missed this, but if my daughter is in North Lakes Walker, how do I pick her up? Front office. So you would come to us at our dismissal location, which has yet to be determined. It's still being finalized. We're finalizing with Ms. Desires. Wherever the location is, we'll inform you of that before the class, before the day of the class starting. But yeah, you would come to pick her up. Just bring your ID, make sure that, you know, if it's not you picking her up, whoever is on the authorized list has their photo ID with them so that we can, so you sign her out. But again, the exact location is still being finalized. Ceramics for kindergarten starts at 2. The specific that we haven't split up the times based on grade level necessarily. If there, you know, if there's a child in the 3 o'clock session and they're not in aftercare or anything like that, we do offer that. If you I don't know if you saw it on our website, we do have a complimentary hour of homework help. So if your child happens to be in the 3 o'clock session, you know, they'll still come to us at 2, and then they'll be in the homework room until, you know, working on their homework, getting all that stuff done. And then at 3, they'll go to the ceramics class or whatever program they're in. But to answer your question more short, it's not just, oh, kindergarten's at 2, third grade's at 3. No, it's not set up like that. We split it, we combine them. However, we do our best to manage the grade level so it's not 20 fifth graders with 1 kindergarten. Oh, happy to help. Happy to help. Any other questions you might have? All right, looks like people are starting to shuffle out. So for the last few that are in here, thank you again for taking the time. We're very, very excited to get started with your kids and you know, make something awesome happen. I'm going to go ahead, if there's no further questions, I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting so you guys can get on with the rest of your evening, and we'll see you very soon.